And now, radio station KLLG 97.9 FM and the Willits Community Radio Theater are proud to bring you On a Wing and a Prayer, a radio comedy written by F.J. Hartland and directed by Mike Adair. Ladies and gentlemen, On a Wing and a Prayer.
Welcome to the continuing drama On a Wing and a Prayer. This is your announcer, Crane Cassowary. On a Wing and a Prayer is brought to you by Sweet Bird of Youth Moisturizing Cream. Remember, you'll be proud as a peacock when you use Sweet Bird of Youth. Today's episode begins in the penthouse office of Robin Swift, young tycoon and president of Roadrunner Airlines. Raven, his beautiful assistant, announces the arrival of an important visitor.
Yes, Raven, what is it?
Mr. Peregrine of Avian Air, here to see you, sir.
Send him in.
Right this way, Mr. Peregrine.
Thank you.
Right on time, Mr. Peregrine. The bells of St. Francis of Assisi are just now ringing 3 o'clock.
I haven't stayed in business for 30 years without being punctual. Besides, the early bird catches the worm.
I had worms once. I wouldn't recommend it.
Will there be anything else, Mr. Swift?
No, thank you, Raven. You may go. And hold my calls.
Yes, sir.
You wanted to see me, Mr. Swift?
Please, call me Robin. And Wren, may I call you Wren?
You can call me anything, but late for dinner.
Welcome to the headquarters of Roadrunner Airlines.
Thank you. You've got quite the bird's eye view of Phoenix from here.
I call my office the Crow's Nest.
You're an odd duck, Swift.
I beg your pardon.
Nothing.
Drink?
I don't drink.
Mind if I do? Yes. From here, I can see the offices of your company, Avian Air. How far would you say that is?
About 15 miles as the crow flies.
And that brings me to what I want to talk about, Wren. I've got one cardinal rule. I don't beat around the bush. I don't walk on eggshells. I want to buy Avian Air.
Avian Air isn't for sale. Besides, I was here in Phoenix first.
What if I offered you this?
Sorry.
You won't sell?
No, I just can't read your chicken scratch.
I'll try to be neater.
You call this an offer? You must think I'm some kind of dodo.
No, quit your grousing. How about I goose it up to this?
That's chicken feed, and you know it. I didn't want to be pigeonholed, so I sold Peregrine Poultry Packaging and invested my entire nest egg in Avian Air. Do you know why? Because I believe in the future of aviation. Besides, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. I have a dream that one day there will be airplanes crisscrossing the skies of this great land of ours. And one day, one of those airlines will be headquartered right here in the great American Southwest. Maybe I won't live to see it, but my son Wren Jr. will. That is, if we ever find him. The kid went cuckoo and flew the coop, you know. But that is my dream, my legacy for him. Avian Air is not for sale to anyone, but especially not a vulture like you.
Impressive dream. The music helps. But look, old man, get your head out of the sand. One way or another, I'm going to control the Arizona skies between Albuquerque and L.A. Now, I suggest you fly with me, and don't be an albatross around my neck. or you may regret it.
You think you're the cock of the walk, don't you, kid? But you're too short to make that threat. And the music doesn't help. You don't scare me. I'm no chicken.
As my grandmother used to say, it's better to be a live chicken than a dead duck.
Good day, Mr. Swift.
To you too, you crazy old loon.
Mr. Swift, what happened?
I think I ruffled a few feathers.
You can say that again. Mr. Peregrine stormed out of here madder than a wet hen.
I tried to take over avian air in the honest way, Raven, but that laid an egg.
And you can usually charm the birds out of the trees, if I may say so, Mr. Swift.
Yes, you may, but it's time to hatch a new plan.
Not another one of your dirty birdie schemes.
Oh, quit acting like a mother hen. There's only room for one in the catbird seat, and that one is Robin Swift. I need leverage against Peregrine. Someone who can get inside avian air.
A fox in the hen house?
Exactly. And I think I know just the little chickadee for the job. Peregrine's goose is cooked now. Raven, get me starling bird song on the telephone.
Yes, sir. Right away.
Before you know it, I'll have Peregrine eating crow.
Meanwhile, on the other side of Phoenix, the Bird of Paradise Club is flying high. It's where the elite meet. Some migrate there for cold bathtub gin. Others flock to hear the song stylings of Starling Birdsong, Chanteuse, and Secret Lover to married millionaire J. Heron Mallard III. We joined them just as Starling is finishing her first musical set.
Thank you. The band and I are going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Hey, Miss Birdsong.
Rooster, how are the tips tonight?
Scarce as hen's teeth, I'm afraid. Hey, Mr. Mallard is at your table. I thought he flew the coop.
They always come home to roost. Bring a bottle of champagne to my table. The good French stuff, not that cockamamie swill that Mr. Quail was stirring up in the bathtub this morning.
Yes, Miss Birdsong.
Well, if it isn't Mr. J. Finch Mallard III. Don't you look nice all gussied up in your penguin suit?
Yeah, I snuck out of the Phoenix Ornithological Society Opera fundraiser. They're planning to build a new aviary. Lark is the chairwoman.
How is your wife, Attila the hen?
Oh, don't talk about Lark like that.
With all her bucks, that old buzzard should have had that beak of hers fixed long ago. And what's with those clodhoppers she wears?
They're corrective shoes. Lark is quite pigeon-toed.
Here's that champagne, Miss Birdsong. But Mr. Quail says since it's the good stuff, you gotta pay for it up front.
Just put it on my bill, Rooster.
Sure thing, Mr. Mallard.
This French champagne slides down so easily. I can't swallow that swill anymore. Join me and wet your beak.
Look, Starling, I went out on a limb to be here. I've got to be back before Lark knows I'm gone. You say you had to see me, so make it quick. What do you want? Money? I told you, I'm through being your butter and egg man. Besides, I've already feathered your nest pretty well.
No, Jay, it's not money. You see, in just a few months, I'm expecting a visitor.
A visitor? Who?
The stork.
You mean...
Yes, a little chick will be joining me in that nest you feathered so kindly.
Stop squawking, you flunky.
Miss Songbird doesn't want to be disturbed.
Someone's causing a flap.
It's my wife!
What? Just look at the two lovebirds cooing.
Lark, what are you doing here?
And why shouldn't I come to the Bird of Paradise Club? What's good for the goose is good for the gander, right?
Well, how did you know I was here?
This is no wild goose chase. A little bird told me where you'd be.
More like a stool pigeon.
Lark, this is Starling Birdsong.
No introductions are necessary. You're the woman who thinks my husband is the goose that laid the golden egg. Don't think for a minute, Miss Birdsong. I'm giving up my bluebird of happiness for you. My mother always told me not to wear my heart on my sleeve for the daws to peck out, but I didn't listen. Well, one way or another, Jay, your little affair is over.
What do you mean, one way or another?
I mean this.
She's got a gun. Duck!
So, was it murder? Murder most foul? And can Robin Swift achieve his evil takeover of avian air, or just fly over the cuckoo's nest? Will Wren Peregrine's dream fly like an eagle, or merely crash and burn? And who sang like a canary to Lark about Jay's affair? Now that she's come out of her shell, will Lark continue to bird dog Jay and Starling? Or rather, was this their swan song? Will the new Phoenix Aviary ever be built? And what about Rooster? For the answer to these and other questions of foul play, tune your squawk box in tomorrow for more On a Wing and a Prayer, sponsored by Sweet Bird of Youth Soap. Remember, you'll always be proud as a peacock when you use Sweet Bird of Youth Soap. This is your announcer, Crane Cassowary, signing off and wishing you a pleasant tomorrow. This is your announcer, Crane Cassowary, welcoming you to today's episode of the continuing radio drama On a Wing and a Prayer, brought to you by our new sponsor, Toucan Travel. Remember, when you're ready to leave the nest, you can with Toucan. When we last left our flock of characters in Phoenix, young business tycoon Robin Swift was egging on Ren Peregrine, Sr., to sell him avian air. Meanwhile, Lark Mallard tried to clip the wings of nightclub chanteuse Starling Birdsong, who was billing and cooing with Lark's husband Jay Heron Mallard III, by peppering the Bird of Paradise Club with a shower of bullets, leaving Jay dead as a dodo. Now we go to the Phoenix jailhouse, where Lark awaits a visit from her legal eagle attorney.
Hey, man.
After being charged with first-degree murder.
Hey, Mallard.
What is it, Officer Oriole?
Get off your tail. Your legal eagle counsel, Attorney Fisher, is here to see you. No diamonds like you're used to on these bracelets, Mallard. Follow me. I'm gonna learn you a few things, Mallard, so listen and listen good. You may have been a bird in a gilded cage, but your days of fancy feathers and preening is over. As Mama Oriole used to say, a rooster one day, a feathered duster the next. I ain't running no hen party around here. We got a pecking order, and I'm the queen of cell block 6. Don't forget it. Cross me and you'll end up with egg on your face. So straighten up and fly right.
All right, right over here.
Quit your squawking, you dirty yardbirds.
Go suck an egg, Oriole.
Quit your grousing. That'll learn you to flip me the bird plover.
Hey, that really hurt.
Not easy to fly on one wing, eh? I don't want to hear another peep out of you, you chicken-livered loser. Live and learn, Mallard. My eagle eyes are always on you. Here we are.
Come in.
The prisoner is here, Counselor.
Thank you. You may leave, Officer Oriole.
I'll be on my perch outside if you need me.
Please sit down, Mrs. Mallard.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher.
Please, call me King. Nervous?
Like a turkey before Thanksgiving. You?
Loose as a goose. Cigarette? Help you to relax.
Thanks. That's better.
Good. Let's get down to business.
Please understand, I'm not to be treated like some common jailbird. You've got to get me out of this awful place, King. Now I know why caged birds sing. I've been stripped naked as a blue jay, hosed down, searched, and then treated like a bird on a wire. You've got to get me out of here. Talk to the judge. Get my bail set.
You're quite the chatty magpie, Mrs. Mallard. But a wet bird doesn't fly at night. I want to get all our ducks in a row before we approach Judge Warbler. After all, you did kill your husband in cold blood. In public, no less. With a nightclub full of witnesses.
I didn't mean to kill him. I was after that gutter snipe Starling Birdsong.
So, you wanted to kill a mockingbird?
She may sing like a canary, but like a homing pigeon, she set her beady little eyes on my husband and seduced him. Sure, I may be no spring chicken, my face may be lined with crow's feet. I'm the ugly duckling, and she's graceful as a swan. But was that any reason for him to take up with that home-wrecking, fly-by-night gold-digging vulture who fouled my nest?
You're pretty hard-boiled, Mrs. Mallard. Now, I hate to put all my eggs in one basket, but I could have something for you to crow about. Soon you can be larking about without a care.
But how?
Judge Warbler's as wise as an owl, but he owes me a favor. Last week on the 18th hole at the Flamingo Country Club, he shot an eagle. So I purposely missed the putt to shoot a birdie so he could win.
So I could be free as a bird.
Maybe.
You're giving me goosebumps. Do you think I'll be out by tonight?
You're not planning on taking in the return of Starling Birdsong tonight at the Bird of Paradise Club, are you?
Oh, heavens no. I've got tickets for the Phoenix Ballet Theater's production of Swan Lake. I've got a box with a bird's eye view of the stage, not to mention Into the Wings.
I thought the Phoenix Ballet was doing the Firebird.
It doesn't matter. I like anything with birds. So tonight?
Let's not count our chickens before they hatch. But I'm warning you, it isn't going to be cheap.
Don't you worry. I've got quite the nest egg. Win this case for me, King, and it could be a real feather in your cap.
On the other side of town, at the Bird of Paradise Club, gaggles of admirers hover to hear the sweet sounds of Nightingale Starling Birdsong in her first appearance since the fatal shooting of her lover, J. Heron Mallard III. One of the faces in the crowd belongs to Robin Swift, owner of Roadrunner Airlines. Let's join them as Starling is just finishing up her set.
Took the monkey for a ride in the air. The monkey thought that everything was on the square. The buzzer tried to throw the monkey off his back. The monkey grabbed his neck and said, "Now listen, Jack. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Ain't no use in diving. What's the use of jiving? Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top." The buzzer told the monkey, "You're choking me. Release your hold and I will set you free." The monkey looked the buzzard right dead in the eye and said, "Your story's so touching, but it sounds just like a lie. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top." Touching, but it sounds just like a lie. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Fly right. Thank you. The band and I will take a little break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Great set, Miss Birdsong.
Thanks, Rooster. But I'm just winging it tonight.
I didn't know if you'd be coming back to the Bird of Paradise after, well, you know.
The stage is my home. I couldn't stay away.
Like the swallows returning to Capistrano.
Something like that. Say, Rooster, what's with the fancy camera?
Mr. Quail wants me to take pictures to sell to the customers. Beats waiting tables. And hey, speaking of customers, Robin Swift just landed at your table.
Lord love a duck. I wonder what he wants. Walk me to my table, Rooster. You can keep an eye on me and get his picture.
Killing 2 birds with 1 stone, eh, Miss Birdsong?
Don't say kill, Rooster. I'm still a little sensitive.
Sorry, Miss Birdsong.
Well, if it isn't Robin Swift looking like the cat who swallowed the canary.
How are you, Starling?
I try to keep my sunny side up, but I feel like I'm running around like a chicken with its head cut off.
Take your picture, Mr. Swift?
Why not, kid?
Watch the birdie.
Hey, kid, could you round us up a few drinks? I'll have a wild turkey. Starling? Champagne?
Club soda for me, Rooster.
Club soda? Why is Phoenix's best-known night owl drinking club soda?
I quit drinking when Jay was killed.
Just like that?
Cold turkey.
Okay, Rooster. 1 wild turkey for me, 1 club soda for Miss Birdsong.
Sure thing, Mr. Swift.
You have to write that down?
My memory's not so good, Mr. Swift. Coming right up with your drinks.
So, Starling, my secretary Raven called you, but you never got back to me.
Maybe you didn't hear, but I was busy being a sitting duck in a shooting gallery.
So how you doing? Honestly.
Everything's all a scramble. What Lark did still sticks in my craw, you know? I had Jay, then in one fell swoop, that bird-brained wife who henpecked him for years took him away. She also took away my...
Your what?
Nothing.
Word on the street is Lark Mallard made bail today. She's being sprung from her cage.
I was afraid of that. Am I being a chicken?
Not at all, because I have a plan.
Another one of your cockamamie schemes?
Listen.
To another one of your cock and bull stories.
We dovetail our goals. I can protect you.
And it's going to cost me more than chicken feed, I bet.
Look, let me fly this past you. I want to take over Avian Air, but Ren Peregrine won't sell.
Is he being a bad egg?
Some horse feathers about wanting the company for his long-lost son. Kid's got amnesia. Now that President Hoover is a lame duck, I don't know what this Roosevelt guy is going to do, so I want to move quickly.
And where do I fit in?
I need leverage with Peregrine. Do I need to draw you a picture? It's the old birds and the bees routine. You get him in a compromising position. We snap a few pictures, show them to his wife.
Oh, Robin.
This should be duck soup for you, Starling.
I'm whistling another tune nowadays, Robin. I'm tired of being your sap, sucker.
You need protection, right? Besides, you owe me, Starling. Don't forget who it was who bought out your contract at that filthy Blue Heron Club and took you under his wing. If you want to make an omelet, you gotta break a few eggs. And you know, I'm not afraid to crack a few shells.
But this is it. This favor will make us even.
Fair enough. And there's Ren now. Over here, Ren.
He's so old. You didn't tell me he's as bald as a coot.
Good to see you, Ren.
I don't see why you've brought me to this speakeasy with all this riffraff. I know that birds of a feather flock together.
I wanted you to meet a celebrity. Mr. Ren Peregrine. May I present Chanteuse Miss Starling Birdsong.
How do you do, Mr. Peregrine?
Miss Birdsong, you're so thin, skinny as a rail. You look as light as a feather.
Such sweet words. You're a regular swan of Avon.
She eats like a bird. Starling, maybe Mr. Peregrine would like a dance.
I don't think the band knows the turkey trot.
Where's Rooster with those drinks?
Right here, Mr. Swift. Oops!
Look what you done, you clumsy oaf.
Rooster, are you okay?
Oh, my God. I don't believe it.
Rooster isn't usually this cuckoo, Mr. Peregrine.
That's not Rooster. That's my long-lost son, Ren Jr.
Who? Me?
Is Starling's goose cooked? Can King Fisher get Lark sprung from prison? Or will his plan take a turn for the worse? Will Robin Swift's devious plan involving Starling succeed or just lay an egg? Has Ren Peregrine found his son, or is the yoke on him? And what about Rooster? For the answer to these and other questions that are for the birds, Tune in tomorrow for On a Wing and a Prayer, brought to you by Toucan Travel. Remember, when you're ready to fly south, you can with Toucan, where two can fly as cheaply as one. This is your announcer, Crane Cassowary, signing off and wishing you a pleasant tomorrow. According to the old cuckoo clock on the wall, it's time to return to Phoenix, Arizona, and our continuing radio drama On a Wing and a Prayer. I'm your announcer, Crane Cassowary, reminding you that today's episode of On a Wing and a Prayer is brought to you by our sponsor, Partridge in a Pear Tree Soap. Remember, some days you're the pigeon, and some days you're the statue. On those days when you're the statue, Partridge in a Pear Tree Soap will set you clean. Today we join Ren Peregrine Sr. as he picks up his long-lost son Rooster in his new limousine.
I hope we're not too early for you.
Nah, I'm always up at the crack of dawn. Gosh, Mr. Peregrine, I've never been in a limousine before.
Please, call me Dad.
Sure thing, Mr. Dad.
Where to, sir?
Starling Birdsong's home, Patrol.
Very good, sir.
Why are we going to Miss Birdsong's, Mr. Dad?
We're giving her a ride to court.
Oh, no. Dad, is she in trouble?
No. She's due in court to be a witness at Lark Mallard's murder trial.
Dad, someone murdered Lark Mallard?
No. She murdered her husband.
Oh, right. I was there that night, Mr. Dad. Golly, I wonder if they'll want me to testify, too.
I doubt it.
Excuse me, sir.
What is it, Patrol?
Shall I turn on the radio?
Gosh, that would be great.
My son says yes, Patrol.
Very good, sir.
Now that we've established you'll call me Dad, just Dad, what should we call you?
Rooster. That's my name. Did you forget already, Dad?
No, I didn't. You're going to be president. We can't keep calling you Rooster.
Gee willikers, Dad. I'm going to be president? Did something happen to Mr. Roosevelt?
Not president of the United States. You're going to be president of my company, Avian Air.
Wow, Dad. That's the bee's knees. The cat's pajamas.
Indeed. So, what should we call you?
You're slipping, Dad. It's Rooster, remember?
While Ren Peregrine struggles to name his long-lost son, reporters have gathered around the courthouse, where the press has gathered for the first day of the murder trial of Lark Mallard. First to arrive is the prosecution, District Attorney Goldie Finch.
What's the square root of 13? What's the square root of 13?
Miss Finch! Miss Finch!
That's District Attorney Finch to you.
District Attorney Finch, our readers at Talking Turkey want to know, what do you think your chances are convicting Lark Mallard?
I am confident that the state has assembled a very strong case.
So you think you're going to have an easy time of it?
Like water off a duck's back.
Her attorney, Kingfisher, seems pretty confident.
He'll be eating crow when I'm done with him. No more questions. I've got work to do, and it's called justice.
Meanwhile, back in the limousine, Wren and Rooster continue to grapple with what to call Rooster.
We could call you Rennie. Or how about Junior?
I always liked the name Percival. How about Percival, Dad? Or Millicent?
You're a rare bird, aren't you, son? But tell me, you don't remember me at all? Or our palatial home, Eagle Rocks?
I don't remember anything since I fell out of that tree.
What were you doing in a tree?
Sleeping.
Why were you sleeping in a tree?
It's where I live, Dad.
You live in a tree? Why?
It's the Great Depression, Dad. That's why I didn't vote for Herbert Hoover. He promised a chicken in every pot. But I don't own a pot. Where would I keep my pet chicken?
Where, indeed?
But don't you worry, Dad. I have a very cozy nest. I've got the world's largest outdoor bathroom.
What do you do about personal hygiene?
They let me use the bathtub at the club. Unless they're making gin that day.
I see.
My place is pretty snazzy, Dad. I just gotta remember not to roll over when I'm asleep. It's a long way down.
Are you hearing this, Patrol?
I'm trying not to listen, sir.
Lucky you.
Mr. Peregrine, there seems to be quite a bit of traffic slowing us down.
I hope we don't make Miss Birdsong late for court.
Speaking of court, murder defendant Lark Mallard has just arrived on the courthouse steps on the arm of her attorney, Kingfisher.
Over here, Miss Mallard. Give us a photo for the front page of the Homing Pigeon Press.
Sure thing.
Tell us at the Goose Gazette, what do you think your chances are?
On behalf of my client, I am sure the evidence will show she is not guilty.
But everybody at the Bird of Paradise Club saw you shoot your husband.
Why would I kill my darling Jay? He was my butter and egg man. But he was cheating on me. What was I supposed to do? Put my head in the sand like an ostrich?
Is it true the prosecution is calling Starling Birdsong to the stand?
I hope they do so I can carve her up like a turkey on Thanksgiving.
See? I've got nothing to worry about because I'm sitting in the catbird seat.
But Starling Birdsong says...
That home-wrecking, gutter-sniped Starling Birdsong tried to steal my husband. I'm innocent, I tell you, innocent!
Lark, please remember what we talked about. Control yourself.
I have every confidence that my attorney, Kingfisher, will convince the jury I am innocent.
Are the rumors true? Are you two lovebirds?
I believe that information is protected by lawyer, client, confidentiality, right, King? Attorney Fisher.
Fraternizing with a client would be highly unethical.
Not to mention very, very wrong. Wherever did you hear such chick... You reporters will write anything to hawk your lousy rags.
Well, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, then...
Come along, Mrs. Mallard. We don't want to be late for our first day of your trial.
Right, Poopsie. Attorney Fisher.
Despite the traffic, the limousine of Wren Peregrine has finally reached its destination, the home of nightclub chanteuse Starling Birdsong.
Excuse me, Mr. Peregrine, but we're here.
But where is Miss Birdsong? We're late as it is. Try blowing the horn, Patrell.
Very good, sir.
Where can she be?
I don't see her, sir.
Would you mind, Patrell, going to see what's keeping her?
I can go, Dad.
No, son. You wait here with me. Go ahead, Patrell.
Yes, sir.
I'm concerned.
She's probably just hungover. Dad, is Starling Birdsong going to be my new mommy?
It's a little too soon to tell that.
It's okay if she is. I like her. And one more question, Dad. Do I need to do a lot of math as president of your company? 'Cause I ain't too good with addition, or subtraction, or multiplication, or long division.
We return to the halls of justice, where Lark and King enter the courthouse not a moment too soon as Judge Warbler is about to call court to order.
Well, Bailiff Hawk, quite a crowd today.
Murder? Scandal? It's what the people want to see, Your Honor.
Well, might as well get this circus started.
Yes, Your Honor. All rise! Hear ye, hear ye. The Court of Phoenix is now called to order. The Honorable Judge Cardinal Warbler presiding.
Be seated. Bailiff Hawk, call the first case.
The people of Arizona versus Lark Mallard, with the charge of murder in the first degree.
I object.
Only your attorney can object, Mrs. Mallard.
But he was doing it. Speak up, King.
Order! Order! This courtroom will come to order. That's enough chatter from you magpies. This is just a reading of the charges, Mrs. Mallard. There's nothing to object to. Now, is the prosecution ready?
District Attorney Goldie Finch for the prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Good. And is the defense ready?
Kingfisher, representing the defendant, Lark Mallard, is ready, Your Honor.
Fine. District Attorney Finch, you may proceed with your opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my name is Goldie Finch, representing the great state of Arizona. You will be shown compelling evidence that the defendant, Lark Mallard, did willfully and with malice aforethought intentionally took a pistol to the Bird of Paradise Club with every intention of murdering her husband, J. Huron Mallard III, in cold blood.
I object!
Mrs. Mallard, please.
But I didn't intentionally take a pistol. I'm always packing heat. Look at this gun I've got in my purse.
Bailiff Hawk, unarm that woman.
Yes, sir.
Order! Order in the court! Order!
Hand over the pistol, sister.
But it's my favorite, my pearl-handled revolver.
Hand it over, or I'll give you something to crow about.
Do as she says, Lark.
Oh, all right.
Attorney Fisher, keep control of your client, or I'll have her removed from the courtroom.
Hey, can he do that?
I can, and I will, Mrs. Mallard.
No worries, Your Honor. I'll keep an eagle eye on her.
Well, you had better. I will not tolerate further outbursts.
As tension in the courtroom subsides, Petrel, Ren Peregrine's chauffeur, returns to the limousine with some shocking news.
I'm sorry, Mr. Peregrine, but there's no sign of Miss Birdsong.
Nothing?
I rang the bell, then I pounded on the door, no response. Then a woman from a neighboring apartment said she saw Miss Birdsong leaving late last night with aviation tycoon Robin Swift.
Robin Swift. My arch nemesis. That upstart crow.
Is he a pelican, Dad?
What?
A pelican. His face can hold more than his belly can.
It pains me to say this, son, but you are as dumb as a dodo.
Dad, I've got it.
What? You know where Starling is?
No, my name. I want to be called Titmouse.
Betrow, to the courthouse, and step on it.
Yes, sir.
As Wren and Rooster race to the courthouse, Judge Warbler resumes the trial, with testimony ready to begin.
District Attorney Finch, call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The defense calls the witness who had a bird's eye view of this heinous murder, Miss Starling Birdsong.
Calling Starling Birdsong.
Calling Starling Birdsong.
Calling Starling Birdsong.
Calling Starling Birdsong.
Oh, it's like a room full of Polly parrots in here. Counselor, where is your witness?
Perhaps she didn't hear it?
Really? That could have been heard all the way to Kitty Hawk.
Maybe the chanteuse is waiting for a musical cue?
Hush up, Lark.
I'll try again, Your Honor. The prosecution calls Starling Birdsong.
Calling Starling Birdsong.
Calling Starling Birdsong.
Calling Starling Birdsong.
Calling Starling Birdsong.
Oh, it's those Polly parrots again. Well, Counselor, I'd say third time's a charm, but I can't sit through all that squawking again.
But where could she be? Where is Starling Birdsong?
Where indeed? Where is Starling Birdsong? Has she flown the coop with Robin Swift? Or did someone cook her goose? Is she free as a bird? Or is she a dead duck? Can Kingfisher get Lark Mallard found innocent and bring her to new heights of ecstasy? Or will Goldie Finch be victorious and find the bluebird of happiness? Will Rooster's memory return? Or will he continue to be stymied by long division? And aren't these questions just for the birds? Join us tomorrow for another bird-brained episode of On a Wing and a Prayer, brought to you today by Partridge in a Pear Tree Soap. Because, let's face it, most days we are the statue folks. Until tomorrow, this is your announcer, Crane Cassowary, signing off and wishing you all a good night.
You've been listening to On a Wing and a Prayer, a Willits Community Radio Theater original production written by F.J. Hartland and directed and produced by Mike Adair. Sound engineering by Kevin H.C. Mohr. Our cast included Aris Vellis as announcer Crane Cassowary, Jherik Ford as Rooster, Jeff Shipp as Robin Swift, Robert Ford as Wren Peregrine and Bailiff Hawk, Kevin H.C. Mohr as J. Heron Mallard III, Plover, and Judge Warbler, Blare Elliott as the enchanting chanteuse Starling Birdsong, Kathy Vellis as Raven, Officer Oriole, and Goldie Finch, Finn Shipp as a voice in the courtroom, Cindi Mohr as Lark Mallard, and Mike Adair as Kingfisher. The Willits Community Theater was founded in 1976. Since then, it has produced 171 main stage shows, which have been seen by more than 70,000 people. Don't miss our talent-packed performances of exciting live theater in June. From June 10th to June 17th, we will be performing the classic romantic tragedy Love Letters, written by A.R. Gurney and directed by Kelly Kesey. And then, on June 24th through June 26th, we will be presenting a reading of You've Got Hate Mail, a digital-aged romantic comedy written by Billy Van Zandt and Jane Milmore, and directed by Garrett Moore. For information about these exciting shows, please go to the WCT website at wctperformingartscenter.org. That's wctperformingartscenter.org. And now, this is Kevin Mohr signing off, and thank you for listening.